So then the next thing you mentioned was clean and concise. Does that mean like the formatting or the design of the resume? Okay. Why is that helpful in evaluating the candidate?
So, a lot of resumes, I feel like a lot of people want to be creative or they want to put all these crazy colors to stand out. And I have not seen any like statistics that say like
Mhm.
the more yellow or orange you put, the more
Yeah.
likely you're going to get a resume. Like, no, it's all about content. That's the focus, but also clean. We don't want the words, we don't want it to just be a wall of text. Like, we want to get
Okay.
away from that. You want to make sure that there's spaces, easy to read, the bullet points aren't running over. I would say that lines up with the worst resumes where it's just too much information and you're just putting
Mhm.
so much to make up for whatever it is, where it's you have to think of your resume as a ticket to an interview. So you want them to look at your resume and be like, "Oh, they did this. I want to hear more about this. Let's get on a call with them." You
Okay.
don't got to put everything on your resume. Your resume should really be your highlights so that when you go into the interviews, you're talking through those bullet points and expanding further. So that's really what you really want to do. And then also to be careful with Canva. I know a lot of people use
Mhm.
Canva to get their templates. What I've learned is that a lot of applicant tracking systems, or ATS is what I'll refer to during this podcast. So ATS systems, they don't read them correctly,
Mhm.
or it for like the format gets jumbled. So you really want to make sure that your resume can be read through Microsoft Word or Google Docs. There's a bunch of different websites that offer those formats and they're free. So
Mhm.
definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah. That's one thing. So like our resume builder, we have templates in there, and one of the things I hear a lot is like they're so boring, like they don't look really cool, and it's like this isn't you're not trying to look pretty, you're trying to get a job. Okay, so yes, it's very
Mhm.
simple, and we've also tested like a lot of the ATSs, and we saw that a lot of them couldn't read resumes with a lot of graphics or tables or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and is that like so when you were saying, like, it would get jumbled and stuff, would you use an ATS to, like, search for certain, like, job titles or, like, why does that formatting matter?
Yeah, so a lot of companies do use their ATS first to find candidates before they go on LinkedIn to do
Okay.
like the passive sourcing.
Oh, okay.
Because anyone in the ATS is essentially we don't have to sell them the job. They are wanting to work for us. So it's less of a sell versus trying to find people on LinkedIn and we have to sell the role and the company. And especially for GoPuff, for example, no one really knew what GoPuff was compared to Google, where
Mhm.
Google, you don't really got to do a hard sell.
Yeah.
So it's like when we're looking through the ATS and we do find good candidates, we are looking at that clean resume and making sure
Okay.
that the ATS system can filter it out and read it.
Yeah.
So it is really important to have that template
Okay.
correct.
And then I imagine too, like, along the lines of like a lot of colors and stuff, is some of that too just like making it easier for the recruiter to look at the resume and read it? Like they are humans after all. And if the whole page is yellow, like that's just not appealing. Like, is there an element of that of like, yes, ATS friendly, but also just like human friendly?
Yes, that's a good point. And like you said, it's human friendly is very important and all the colors and it could be a lot.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I would say the only time you may want to focus on it the template being, colorful is maybe if
Mhm.
you're applying for like a graphic design role. But even then, it's like use your portfolio to showcase your style. You don't have to do that through a resume. You can maybe gently do it, but you don't have to do it solely through the resume. And another point too is pictures. So I know some people like to put their photo on their resume. I don't recommend that. I think LinkedIn is where they're going to verify who you are and want to see your face. But your resume should solely be just your information. It shouldn't have your photo because that's when the whole discrimination
Yeah.
laws can kind of come into play. And we don't want that to factor in. Like they should only be seeing what you do and it should just be text.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.